What's up guys, welcome back for another YugioPro duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup, here all the way, at least, yeah indeed, pretty much on top right side of the bracket, the top 16 cutoff. Two deck lists, two decks. First of all, we have Zombie TeleDAD from 2008, one of the older deck lists here in this year's Cross-Banlist Cup. Again from the OCG, spread up against PaleoFrogs, one of the more recent decks in this year's Cross-Banlist Cup. So the first list, we have OCG Zombie TeleDAD, Synchro, Undead, a little bit different compared to TeleDAD, Undead, you know, one of the lists used previously, at least in one of the previous Cross-Banlist Cup series. The deck list speaks for itself. Super fast deck with, you know, multiple Armageddonite, the full zombie engine with Goblin Zombie, but, you know, the fact that this deck had access to pretty errata Brionek, one of its most important tutors, and of course Card of Safe Return. With, again, not once per turn, so you could potentially draw multiple cards during the same turn. Fueled with something like Destiny Hero Malicious to fuel your level 8 Synchro plays. And, well, of course, again, Brionek not being once per turn can instantly set up your graveyard with multiple Mizukis. And, it's not Link spam, but it's Synchro spam. The second list, we have Paleozoic's deck list from 2017. A lot of trap cards, basically, the only spells being Triple Desires and the one of Upstart Goblin, 2 hand traps in the main deck, so that can be important if this deck is eventually going second. So again, yeah, which deck has the advantage? Well, seems 50-50, right? Going first might be important. Same for Paleozoics, setting their back row, setting up their graveyard with, you know, the multiple Paleozoic trap cards. Same for the frogs. And on the other side, we have, well, zombies. They definitely want to go first. Having the 6th card definitely helps, but going first and not let your opponent, like, set multiple back row. And I'm looking at cards like Dimensional Prison, Solemn Strike, for example. Those are definitely a pain if you want to set up and potentially get multiple draws off of a potential Card of Safe Return. So, again, 50-50 is what I will say. Okay, let's not waste any more time, let's hop into the first duel. Okay, game number 1. I get to start, having the 6th card again, going first. Multiple Allure of Darkness are here in the deck, so fueling, or, you know, just increasing the chances of drawing into your key pieces, and most cards are at maximum, so, you know, at 3 here in the deck. I think that indeed the only hand traps that Paleozoics are playing is Maxi, so no effect failure, but again, well, if he's not using Maxi on something like Emergency Teleport, then he definitely does not have it in his opening hand. So thanks to Card of Safe Return and, you know, the multiple setup, well, you know, with Goblin Zombie, searching out Mizuki, and the fact that was, I think, one of the most important things why this deck back then was so OP back in 2008, at least for the OCG, is, you know, Brionek was not once per turn, so pretty errata, so you can, again, just keep discarding your Mizuki, your Plague Spreader, Malicious, set up your graveyard, and later go for multiple Synchro summons. Here in this matchup, that's definitely important, you know, going first, not let your opponent setting cards like Solemn Strike or Dimensional Prison, well, mainly Dimensional Prison. It's basically, well, like a turn stopper, right? If your opponent uses Dimensional Prison, that Dimensional Barrier, indeed. Yeah, well, I was thinking, of course, it's Barrier, it's not Prison, man, these Cross-Banlist Cup series. Well, anyway, so, again, Dimension, using event, well, eventually you could use it again, you know, against the Synchro summons, right? But in the long run, using, I think, going for Thought Ruler was much more important, right? Since the opponent deck or Paleozoics do run multiple, well, you know, multiple targeting traps mainly, right? So I think going for Thought Ruler definitely was the okay option. And again, Stardust can also be important of, well, protecting your back row against Mystical Space Typhoon Paleozoic, right? He goes first, and I believe he's opening with double Reckless Greed, and I can't, well, maybe I should have used Giant Grenade here again. Just don't leave him, please don't give him the option to use his Paleozoic traps, well, get them on the field, I guess, but yeah, that might have been a mistake. Then again, my follow-up plays after that would not have been that strong, so that was my thought process, just give the Giant Grenade just in case. But again, if you're giving Paleozoics like the extra couple of turns to set up, at least one extra turn to set up you might lose instantly, and that's, you know, with the Paleozoic Exceed and Toad as well. So important. And there is the dimensional barrier and Waboku. Waboku is such a game breaker against this deck. So again, no damage. At least, yeah, well, I can attack his monster, but again, his monster will not be destroyed thanks to Waboku. So it's such a strong card, right? Protecting his setup and at the same time gives him the extra Paleozoic on the field. Yeah, now it's pretty much game over. He does have one negation left with Totally Awesome. He does have the rank 2 Exceed Paleo that can also destroy monsters or cards during my turn, and of course multiple sets. I think one of them is the dimensional barrier, right? So yeah, I know, you know, Pearl can be used to potentially prevent my opponent from using the Paleos in his graveyard. You know, they can't chain them directly, right? But even in this case, it would not have mattered that much. So game number 3, I get to start. This is definitely a superb opening hand. Well, again, drawing into a card of safe return. I think having a foolish indeed. But yes, Maxi. So I have to stop. I can't give him more draws. Going for Thought Ruler, maybe Stardust was the better option, but again, he does have so many options to either put Stardust face down or, you know, just bounce it back with something like Compulsory, right, or banish it with his trap card. The Raigeki Break, right? So there is indeed, not really sure which one. Is it the Book of Moon? I think it's the Book of Moon and the Breakthrough skill. Both of them will be negated by the Thought Ruler Archfiend, since again both target. And maybe I should have gone for Stardust here. Yeah, Stardust definitely would have protected the card of safe return, right, and at the same time would not have let him special summon something from the grave, right? But then again, now he's revealing, you know, the Waboku, and yeah, so I don't think it would have mattered that much, since again no back row and I can't stop the what is it called, Opapinia to you know, search like a Paleo trap card from his deck and using his trap cards, his Paleo trap cards during his own turn immediately from his hand. So okay, I can negate the quote-unquote Raigeki Break from the Paleos, but it's not going to matter too much. He had the time to set up, and as you see, he does have the dimensional barrier, and again the Waboku. Waboku is so important, but still, again, he has the rank 2 Exceed that can potentially destroy something, and yep, there is the Waboku forcing out or using one of the Paleos in grave, and well, that will trigger the Exceed, etc, etc. So again, it's not going to matter too much. Great games. I think we have a well-deserved winner here with PaleoFrogs taking it over zombies, and if we look eventually, you know, with all of those back rows like Strike, Dimensional Barrier, Maxi, those are just game winners against a synchro heavy deck like, you know, like Zombie TeleDAD. So, okay. Paleos will move on to the right side of the bracket, and as you know, Zombie TeleDAD is still in the tournament indeed, and they will take on Chronomelis here in the, at least on the left side of the bracket. 2 matches left in the top 8. The next one, like always, feel free to leave your predictions, will be a crucial and a big one. We have Shaddolls versus Performapals, Dracopals. So again, feel free to leave your predictions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks so much, and feel free to leave a card or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.